Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Business, and first things first, thank you all. We passed the 4,000 subscriber mark, yay! So, here's hoping for more goodness in the future, of course, and your continued support. So, thank you all so very much. You may be wondering what the hell is going on with this being called Ships and Giggles Episode 1. I needed a way to dump off my various clips that I have. We already have user replays for your clips. We have the reviews for specific ships and things like that, and then the single match replays as well that I post up from time to time. But for all the random stuff that happens, I didn't really have an outlet. And if you're watching this and wondering just what the hell is going on, you have every right to. This Mutsuki, he's, I don't know what to say. He's backing up away from this Juho, and I was watching this. We all stopped shooting. He actually rammed the destroyer, and he's left with that health. I felt bad. I didn't even want to shoot him. And the funny thing is, he actually survived, and props to him for doing that. So, one of the funniest things I've ever seen in this game. And then on this end of the spectrum, we have a Shimikaze who's saying, hey, I'm not going to go ahead and play this match until the enemy carrier is dead. I'm going to go ahead and escort our carrier and provide AA support. I mean, what the yeah. That's some seriously stupid shit. And yes, his team did lose that match. Now, on a lighter note here, we have the Atlanta. And Citizen is also in his Atlanta. And this poor Congo is in range of both of us. So you get to see just how incredibly dangerous the Atlantic can be. And I mean, granted, we really should be getting shot here. We're just kind of drifting forward, backwards a little bit. But I mean, my first salvo was on target, and this guy just kept going in a straight line. I never had to worry about adjusting my aim too much, except bringing it out just a little bit further there. And I mean, look at all those shells. Holy shit. I mean, at any given point, there's what, 28 shells or something in the air from both of us. And it's just insane to see how fast that health pool just got depleted. I mean, just this is the one beautiful thing about the Atlanta, as far as being able to combine power with somebody else, especially if you're running two, or God help, and everybody else, three Atlantas. And this destroyer decides to come around and see if he can crash our party, and Citizen and I just kind of trade off on him and wreck him, but he does get a few torps into Citizen's backside. Now, switching gears over to some Nikolai action, what is otherwise known as the OP monster of tier 4, because let's be honest, it really is. I have no problems whatsoever playing this because it does have some serious drawbacks. We'll get to that in just a second. And actually, in one or two replays from now, we'll get to it. So this was a hell of a match, honestly. Frere is in his Ishizuchi right there at the bottom of the screen, and we're heading back here because, as you saw in the previous clip there, we had a lot of the enemy team starting to show up in the middle of the map, pushing north on like the 7-8 line. So we decided to respond and get some decent damage on the stock Congo there. Now there's a Nicholas right there, a couple other ships, and we have to pick our fight here very carefully because it's going to be extremely easy for us to get overwhelmed. And the stock Congo is beached over here, so I decided to skip out on shooting at the Nuremberg and try to just sink as much damage as I can into this guy who's basically helpless at this point. So I fire off my salvo and get jack shit in return. So I probably should have aimed a bit further up. I just expected him to keep going back, and that's exactly what he didn't do. So Nicholas is right here, and Frere, and he's got line of sight on him. And this is before the new patch, by the way, so it's not the 25-second reload on the Ishizuchi, which, by the way, now that the patch is finally working, there's some really cool stuff about it, I'll say that much. God, I'm so happy about being able to play destroyers without having anywhere near the turret destruction that we used to have. So that's a really fantastic change. Now this Omaha, we're anticipating torps here, and I mean, I've got this guy dead to rights. Look at this. Nope. Sometimes the ship just doesn't want to kill enemy ships, and yeah, I gotta say, that one kind of stung a bit because I really wanted that kill. Alright, so now things are gonna start getting pretty hectic here. Freyr manages to knock out the Omaha with his secondaries, and I'm pretty sure these are Gremiashi torps that are coming in at us. And same with that first set that we dodged a moment ago, but it certainly wasn't the Omaha there. But I bring my turrets around to the Arkansas Beta. Freyr just launched a salvo at the Miyogi to the south, and I'm able to get 3 of my turrets into the fight here, not my 4th one, so I do a bit less than 10,000 damage. I was certainly hoping for more, of course, that would have been great, but I mean 10,000 is a pretty damn good chunk. Now, I just bounced his entire salvo. I mean, that was awesome, and when this armor works, my god, is it beautiful. Now, Freyr starts opening up on the Arkansas Beta, and I get my 4th turret in on the action here against the Arc Beta and do 2,800 damage with just 1 hit, so good penetrating damage. And I decide to swing all the way around to bring my 1, 2, 3 turrets to bear on the Congo. And you can see that Bogatyr back there, he's still peppering away at us. I almost knock out the Congo entirely, and Freyr and the Arkansas Beta are going just ape shit against each other with secondaries. Just a really classic type of battle there. And I decide, I think at this point the Congo, I feel like he's going to go ahead and shoot Freyr, so I'm trying to get his attention by showing him my backside since I have the health pool to spare, even though really the Congo, stock or not, can wreck the shit out of me. And I bring my full salvo to bear on the, well, 3 turrets, I'm sorry, to bear on the Arkansas Beta again, and this is a terrible angle, but I do pretty good damage there, so about 9,000, that range again. Freyr did knock out the Congo, so now he's moving up against the Bogatyr, and the Bogatyr is still harassing the shit out of me. Have some shots coming in from the Arc Beta, and I'm trying to get angled here so I can bounce him, and should be any second. There we go. Bounce, bounce. So 346 damage. I think that may have been actually a secondaries that did that. So I get my turrets involved again here, trying to bring the ship around, and I've got all 4 ready to go. Dump everything I've got into him and get jack shit. I just wanted this guy to die, but given that angle, I mean, I really didn't expect. I didn't expect to knock him out, I guess, but I was hoping for, I guess, something more than 2,800 damage on 9 hits. That's just terrible. Now, he does damage my superstructure there. That looked like an overpen. He really can't do anything but bounce off my front, so I just keep it pointed that way and have my front turrets aligned. Now, check this awful dispersion out. Oh my god, that's bad. So swing a little bit more to the left there, get the number 2, 3 turrets involved, and look back just in time to see the Bogatyr get Freyr. Now, it's my turn to see if I can get this guy. Not bad damage there. The Bogatyr has a decent side, but it's not that easy sometimes to do damage at this range. Further away, you can kind of get that plunging fire down into the water line and hit the citadel, but this range actually tends to be somewhat difficult. But I am picking my shots here carefully because I actually want to get close quarters expert, and you can see I get some decent hits there, so 5,300 health. Or 5,300 damage, and you know, he's pretty damn close to death. And after a little bit, I decide that I've had enough dicking around with this guy. My secondaries aren't going to kill him. They're just, I think a bunch of them were destroyed, but managed to take out the Bogatyr, and that was just a hell of a great battle, and I really like playing low tier for that reason. It happens regardless of the ship class. You know, you get into these awesome brawls, and turns out to be just a lot of fun. Now, speaking of low tier, we've got the Dursky, yay! So, with patch 5.5, they upgraded the range on the Torps to 4 kilometers for the Dursky. And I have had one match in it so far, and it was a lot of fun. I think I got a crack in it or something, I don't know. Ended up doing a lot of damage, but in this match, and this is patch 5.4, it still has the 3 kilometer torp, so you've got to be pretty much suicidal. And if you guys have seen any of my previous videos with destroyers, you know that's no problem for me. That's where I'm most at home. So I dump my entire torp spread against the destroyer here, and then have a hell of a terrible shot there. The guy manages to dodge everything, so nice job. The great thing about the Dursky is, though, you can get yourself into shitty situations, and in 22 seconds after you dump your torps, you'll have torps again. So I start circling this Kawachi here and his secondaries, which are able to point all over the place because he has them facing every which way. They start just ripping into me, and I get my last 2 torps off right here, and I get killed by his secondaries. But would I really be showing you this particular clip if it didn't hit? I detonated it with the last torp. He probably had like 1,000 health left. I mean, kind of unnecessary, but at least he got flags out of that, right? Now, this match, I'm not gonna lie, this may have been the craziest match I've seen in a long time in this game. Just some of the weirdest, most random shit happened, and I'm in the Nikolai, and you could see the HP panel in the top left. Frere is in the Ishizuchi. Well, he got shit on. I think he got triple sit by the Fuso, like pretty much right off the bat, and I'm trying to just kind of push forward and get things done, do some damage here, and there's a Karlsruhe, and God, I love shooting at Karlsruhes. Why? That's why. Triple Citadel, he's gone, poor guy. But hopefully he has some free XP and he could get out of that ship ASAP. I'm pushing forward against both the Phoenix and the Destroyer here. The enemy Bogue is back there, so Matsuki's up rather close, certainly closer than I would like him to be. But at least he's spotted and I can shoot him. But I do decide to try to knock out this Phoenix here, and there's some torps there from the Matsuki. Now, that clip with the Omaha and how I should have killed him, that's how I feel about this. Look at that. Oh my god. 9 times out of 10, that's a full health devastating strike. And I could not get this guy. So embarrassing. And at this point, I know I'm pretty well fucked, and I don't know what the hell happened with the camera here being like that close to the flag. Start getting my secondaries in on the Matsuki, and I know it's gonna happen, but not quite like that. Yikes, 31,000 damage detonation. I mean, I was dead one way or another, right? So I switch over to Citizen in his Clemson, and he's already got a couple kills. He's doing some work here, and going up against some higher tier ships and just harassing the hell out of them. You can't see one of the other cruisers of Furutaka here because I wasn't watching Citizen, so it's not based off of his view range but mine, where my body is, so, or my ship's body, whatever. And he is just, he's going hard after these guys, seeing if he can get a few more kills. And he switches, I think he switches over to AP at this point. Yep, right there. And Citadel's the guy. And then gets taken out himself. So he ends up with 3 kills, and our division is gone. And now we have to rely on our teammates here, such as this Bogue, who's really just did not get going north early enough, and starts getting wrecked by the enemy Fuso. And here come some more shells. Yeah. Well, that's a Bogue for you, right? But here comes a Cleveland. And this guy's running the what is it? I think it costs 50 gold per match, this particular camo. So take a look at that. I mean, it looks fantastic, but why the hell would you pay gold for this, right? And I did want to mention, you see the stuttering here. It seems like patch 5.5 has resolved most of that for me. But anyways, back to this. The Cleveland has taken one full broadside and a second one. But did you see that? He actually got close quarters expert after surviving 2 broadsides from a Fuso. He got close quarters expert against him. And I'm like, what the shit is going on this match? This is nuts. Yeah, well, hold on one second. So I switch over to see what's happening up here, and we have a Phoenix who's beached, and he's in a funny situation against an enemy destroyer. I guess he dodged torps and beached. So take a look. There is a destroyer coming in behind him, and there were dive bombers right there. They pop up on the screen. There's only 2 of them, or 3 of them in the squad. The dive bombers drop on the Mitsuki and also set the Phoenix on fire. So the carrier gets a double strike. I can't make this type of shit up. I mean, this is hilarious. Alright, now let's switch over to the Colorado, because this is a ship I'm not going to defend anymore. I mean, I don't think I should defend any ship anymore, just because, you know what, if people want to underestimate things, cool, that's fine. If I do well in the Colorado, Atlanta or something, and you can't do well, that sucks, and you know, whatever, it's just how it is. Everybody has different experiences when they're playing given ships. But for me, the Colorado is thoroughly consistent where other battleships are not, and I will explain that in the clip after this on the next map, and be able to show you firsthand what I'm talking about. But there's something called the Sigma value that is what was changed with the Colorado buff that happened last September. And basically, it's on the scale, the maximum is 2.0, right? The New Mexico, Montana, things like that, they're on the low end of the scale at 1.3, and the Colorado is at the max end at 2.0. And what that scale means is that the shells, instead of pushing away from center, they're more likely to coalesce into the center. So that means that, again, the Colorado is a ship that rewards gunnery. So when, of course, the dispersion applies. Now, there are moments with the Colorado, just like any other ship, that you know, the dispersion just goes batshit crazy, or maybe for an entire day it's like that. It just happens, and that's RNG at work for you. And here I am trying to get Kraken, and you're gonna see me try to get a bit greedy here and go for a double strike, but this is so close. This guy hardly has any health too, but I just didn't lead him enough. And this is also something you shouldn't do, by the way, exposing your, oh god, I'm turning, showing my belly to that New Mexico. He could have wrecked me so bad, but I'm just getting penetrating salvo after penetrating salvo. I'm already at like, what, 125, 130,000 damage in this match, so I'm feeling pretty good about it overall. And you know, it's just interesting to me that, you know, people still say that the Colorado is horribly inaccurate, it's a terrible ship, and you know, I say the same thing about the North Carolina. I find it to be a horrible ship in terms of the consistency of the accuracy and things like that, while other people manage to get incredible dispersion. And, you know, like this match, for instance, I had a very hard time for the first, I mean, we're 10 minutes into the match, and I really haven't done anything in terms of damage overall. And it's strange to me that with battleships, you have this tipping point where, you know, you'll do damage, and then you won't do anything for the rest of the match, or vice versa. And this is the latter example. I hadn't done anything, and then I started to finally get stuff going. And I want you to pay very close attention to what happens with the salvo. One, it's a good salvo, first off. I'm very proud of how I led this and how it kind of followed through. But again, that Sigma value, what I was saying about the shells moving towards the center, this is that at work. Pay very close attention to these. See how they're grouping up, getting closer and closer to each other. Popped. That is seriously good dispersion. There's not a battleship in the game that does better than that. You know, and that's why I will play the Colorado over and over again. Because moments like that can make all the difference. And if that were a battleship there that was pulling into that spot, I mean, holy shit, that would have been a huge amount of damage. And you saw that in the previous video with the user replay 8 at the end of it, when I just needed that addendum to mention something, that Nagato got wrecked for 36,500 at, you know, like 16 kilometers or something, and the shells did the same thing. But this clip here, I was ending the stream, and I think this was Saturday night, a late night stream, and it was really late in the evening, and not the battle clock that you see on the top left or anything. I decided to get into Kawachi to end things, and I hadn't done a damn thing so far this match, but managed to get close quarters, and Citizen just died, but he managed 100,000 damage in this freaking match. Like, he went batshit crazy on these guys, so he was already laughing his ass off, and here I was laughing because I had just had a close quarter expert kill, and I'm in the perfect position to get 2 more, and not only that, potentially a double strike. So I set this guy up. Look at that. I'm doing myself a huge favor by shooting HE at him, and barely, like, I think I left him with, what, 41 HP, and I'm desperately trying to get this guy. Yeah, there we go. A double strike with close quarters expert, but under 9,000 damage. I was crying on stream from laughing so hard. It was so bad, and I think that's the best thing the ship can do, and I expect the review to just be all about that. But alright guys, that'll be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed the first inaugural episode of Ships and Giggles, and I'm sure I'll have plenty more for you in the future, but I'll be streaming today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to swing by, say hello. Fletcher video is coming up next, and thanks for watching guys. Take care.